The purpose of this video is to help you understand how to install the Freedom Oxygen Tubing Storage System and is to be used as a visual aid. It is not a substitute for our installation and instruction manual. Please completely read the installation and instruction manual and all warnings before installing any of our products. After you have located where you would like to mount the storage system and have also established where your oxygen source will be, use a stud finder to locate a stud in the wall. Secure the mounting plates to the wall using the mounting screws provided. Once you have the mount plates secured to the wall, stand the storage system up and secure it to the mount plates using the hardware provided. Now you are ready to do your initial plumbing setup. You have now established where your oxygen source will be located and are now ready to plumb your supply tubing. In your starter kit, you will find a 10-foot clear oxygen supply tube as well as a green tubing connector. Install your 10-foot supply tube starting at the top end of your unit and work your way down toward the oxygen source. Depending on how you would like the tubing to be routed, choose one of the 3 rubber grommet holes to exit the housing. Connect the end of the supply tube to your oxygen source. Now you are ready to install your 50-foot green oxygen supply tube. Start out by loosening both of the thumb screws located on the right side of the upper pulley assembly. Back them out about 1 inch. Make sure that the lower pulley assembly is secured in place by engaging the service clamp by first aligning the service clamp plunger with the top service hole located on the rear cover just below the upper pulley assembly. Take one end of your new 50-foot oxygen supply tube located in your starter kit and thread it through the fairlead rollers and around the first pulley. Take the end and thread the tubing around the remaining other 7 pulleys. Connect the end of the 50-foot green supply tubing to the 10-foot clear supply tubing using the green tubing connector. Secure the end of the tubing by placing it in the tubing block located on the left side of the upper pulley assembly. Tighten both of the thumb screws on the upper pulley assembly. Connect the nasal cannula to the end of the 50-foot green supply tube using a swivel connector. Disengage the service clamp and close the door. To change the oxygen tubing, open the door and loosen both of the thumb screws. Pull the tubing out and engage the service clamp. Connect your new tubing with a swivel connector to the user end of the old tubing. Take the opposite end of the old tubing out of the tube block and disconnect it from the supply tubing. Pull the old tubing through all of the pulleys. Disconnect the old tubing and connect your new tubing. Secure it to the tube block. Tighten your thumb screws. Disengage the service clamp and close the door, and you are ready to go. The room temperature can affect how the storage system operates. For cooler room temperatures below 69.5 degrees, The counterweight plates may be installed if the desired speed of tubing retraction is not being met. If the room temperature is maintained above 69.5 degrees, there is no need for the counterweight plates to be installed, as long as the desired speed of tubing retraction is being met. Keeping the lower pulley assembly as light as possible increases the ease of dispensing the tubing and requires less effort when pulling the tubing out of the housing. To install the counterweight plates, open the door to the storage system housing. Install the weight plates on the lower pulley assembly using the thumb screw adjusters provided. The brake mechanism allows the user to have options. When the brake mechanism is engaged, the desired amount of oxygen tubing may be dispensed out of the storage system and locked in place, creating intermittent tubing tension. When the brake mechanism is disengaged, the tubing is able to be dispensed from the housing with constant tension.